Hey everybody, this is Sammy Hansen, aka TrainLiver206 here, and welcome to the third and final part of the Daedae 5th Anniversary Special Announcement video. Now, I know that I said that part 3 was going to come out, well, next week, but let's just say that I had no idea that May would be a particularly busy month for me for several reasons. With one of them being that I was focusing on going on vacation to LA, and other priorities I don't want to get into. But now that I got those priorities out of the way, I can finally do part 3. So without further ado, let's dive in. Now, for my first announcement in part 3, do you remember back when I was publishing the first book that I was planning to release it on Amazon, but couldn't because I was a beginner author and because of budgetary reasons I have to release it on exclusively on BookBaby? Well, I decided to resurface those plans, which leads me to announce that the original trilogy will be republished on Amazon. Now, the reason why I decided to republish the original trilogy, and possibly including this one, is because when looking back on my first 2 books, I'd say they're not perfect. Some of the illustrations that I scanned were a little low quality, and some of them were a bit pixely, and some of the dialogue became a case where it was better said in my head rather than said out loud. So not only will this republished version of the trilogy include better scanned illustrations and improved dialogue, but also another thing I want to include, but I couldn't back then, and that of course being chapter divisions. Yep, this original trilogy will now include chapters. Now, believe it or not, back then I was consider of including chapters in my books back in high school, but my teacher at the time thought it wasn't necessary to include chapters, so by the time I published the first book, I just basically got rid of chapters. A decision that I immediately regret afterwards, since I wanted one of my graphic novels to be read like, well, a chapter book rather than like a typical graphic novel without chapters. So expect not only with better looking illustrations, but also improved dialogue, and of course the inclusion of chapters, which that detail element will be included in later trilogies in the future. Now, in terms of when I'll be releasing the republished trilogy, well, or more specifically, the release dates for the republished trilogy, as of right now, I don't have exactly a planned release date for them, since I'm still currently working on the third book and other projects to do, but I do have specific dates on which one I wanted to them. So, for the first book, aka The Adventure Begins, I'm planning to probably publish it sometime in midsummer of 2027. Book 2, aka The Waters of Sandy Cove, in late autumn of 2027. And finally, book 3, The Blackbird of Kilkenny, in early spring of 2028. And as you probably may guess, I'll be releasing each book every 3 months, as opposed to the 2-year or 3-year gap between releases, exclusively on BookBaby. So expect the republished version to so I guess you don't have to wait that long for each book to be republished. And that's all I got to say for this announcement. Now, to give you a recap, the original trilogy will not only be published on Amazon, but also include better scanned illustrations, improved dialogue, and chapter divisions. And I'll be releasing republishing the trilogy sometime in between 2027 and 2028 for every 3 months, as opposed to the 2-year to 3-year gap like I did when I released it on BookBaby. Now, keep in mind that this is still bit early on, as of right now I'm still currently working on the third book. So expect the republished plans to immediately action once I'm done with the first book. So once I'm done with the third book. So yeah. Moving on to the second announcement. Do you all remember when I said that I'll be turning Daedae into a 7-volume/20 book series, and I'll explain in part 3? Well, now's a good time to mention this right now, as I'm happy to announce that I am planning a 3-in-1 omnibus-like structure for my Daedae trilogies. And what I mean is that after each book of each Daedae trilogy will be released every 3 months, I'll be releasing an omnibus book of each trilogy just 8 months after each third part. So it'll give you an option to either read the Daedae books either in separate books or in volumes. Now, some of you may be wondering about the 7-volume/20 book thing, because if we do math, if there were each 7 trilogies, would that make it a 21 book series? Well, the thing is that for the 7th volume, I decided to plan it to be just 2 books, as I'm planning for the 7th volume to be a finale where it'd just be a 2-part finale as opposed to a 3-part finale. Although that could change depending on the plan. So, because as of right now, this is still just an early plan of mine. So once I'm and again, like in the first announcement, once I'm done with the third book, I'll see if I can get those plans in plan that into motion. So yeah. And with that, that's all I get to say for the third and final part of the Daedae 5th Anniversary Special Announcement video. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this video was pretty hard for me to do, because I know that things didn't go exactly planned, because I was originally planning to release this as a full video, but due to time constraints and due to me still getting used to my part-time job and other busy things in early 2026, I had to release it in parts. So, but hey, on the bright side, at least I still got to announce not only some of the anniversary projects I'll be doing in 2026, but also plans for the Daedae series in the future, like more Daedae books in the more in the trilogy, new characters that will be have yet to appear, the original trilogy being republished on Amazon, and amongst other things. So with that, this concludes the third part of third and final part. Hope you'll enjoy this anniversary announcement, and yeah. So that said, this is TrainLiver206 signing off, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on social medias, and until next time, see you later, everybody.